Assalamu alaikum everybody. How are you doing today? I hope everyone is having a great day. We're already in the middle of Ramadan. Can you believe that? It's already been more than 2 weeks. It's been flying. Who has been doing these good deeds of the week with me? Have you been able to make your box and follow along with us? It's okay if you weren't able to do this as long as you're doing the activity with us every single week. Let's call Basma and see what this week's activity or this week's good deed is going to be. Who's excited? Basma? Come here, let's do this week's good deed. Let's pick out a good deed from the box.
I'm coming. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Basma. Are you excited for this week's good deed?
Yes, I am.
All right, come on. Bismillah. And today's good deed is, I'll read it this time, Basma. Paint 3 kindness rocks and place them in a visible spot for people to see and smile while walking by. That's a nice one. I think that's very sweet and kind to do. And it helps bring happiness and kindness to everyone around us, which is a very good thing to do. And something that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us to do.
Wait, I remember a story about this.
Yeah, would you like to read that story? I remember. So, Basma's talking about this story called We Love to Smile, where Tariq and Zainab learn another hadith about smiling. Who's excited? Let's read along. So Tariq and Zainab wanted to learn this week's hadith with their family. So Tariq jumped out of bed as soon as he woke up and he remembered what he and Zainab planned together the day before. He thought, hooray, today we're going to learn this week's hadith. He was so happy. But since they were on school break, Zainab kept on sleeping. Tariq wondered which hadith both of them would learn. He couldn't wait for Zainab to wake up. He tiptoed out of their room. He went to the living room. There was nobody there. The house was very quiet. He went over to the hadith box and he was excited to open it. His heart was beating. Ba-dum, ba-dum. He closed his eyes and reached his hand inside and then Tariq jumped back when he heard that sound. He turned around and saw his cat. Cuddles, you were here? Tariq asked. You scared me to death. He turned back to the box and took out a piece of paper. He quickly opened it. He was excited to learn something new as he read the hadith. Smiling is charity. Tariq ran right away to his sister's bedside. Zainab, Zainab! She looked at her older brother with sleepy eyes and he smiled, saying, do you know what hadith I picked this week? It is smiling is charity. Zainab's sleepiness went away and then a question came to her mind. What does charity mean? And he didn't know either. We should go ask Grandpa. And they went to Grandpa, who was a very wise man. Zainab asked Grandpa, what is charity? And Grandpa held her hand and said, MashaAllah, that's a very good hadith indeed. Charity means sharing the beauties that Allah has given us with others. Tariq and Zainab's questions didn't stop there though. But why is smiling a charity? What do we do by sharing? What do we share by smiling? Grandpa smiled as he answered, one of the beauties that Allah has given us is love. When we smile, we share our love. That's why our Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, always smiled. After they learned what the hadith meant, Zainab and Tariq went into the bathroom. They stood side by side in front of the mirror and they smiled and they frowned and they smiled and then they frowned. They looked at themselves and at each other in the mirror. They gave a name to this game they were playing. Which face is more beautiful? They laughed and said, the smiling face is definitely more beautiful. They washed their faces and their hands and then they went running to the dining room. Everyone was waiting for them to eat breakfast. Zainab and Tariq came to the dining room with big smiles. They greeted everyone in their family before they sat down. Assalamu alaikum family, good morning. Wa alaikum salam children. They didn't forget their cuddles either. She was walking around underneath the table. They smiled and petted their cat's head. Father said, Grandpa told us about the hadith we just learned. I wonder how many times you're going to smile today. We're going to smile this much. We will not be able to count all the time, Zainab said. She became a little sad at this. But you can write it down on a piece of paper, Mom said. She then gave Zainab and Tariq each a piece of paper and she said, every time you smile, make a mark on this piece of paper. Let us see who will win the smiling grace. After breakfast, the family went shopping. As soon as they left the front door, they saw one of their neighbors. She was sitting outside of the apartment building because she looked a bit sad. I guess our neighbor doesn't have any smiles left. Then let us share our smiles with her, just like Prophet, peace be upon him, used to do. The two of them smiled at their neighbor, and as they passed, she smiled back and patted their heads. As they walked, Mother said, MashaAllah, the weather is beautiful today. Let us go through the park. We can get to the store that way. In the park, they saw a cute baby crying in her carriage. Zainab and Tariq smiled and waved at her. The baby suddenly became quiet and gave them a big smile. When she smiled, Zainab and Tariq could see her tiny 2 teeth. Finally, they reached the store, and they shopped for what they needed. And while in the market, Zainab and Tariq saw a man straightening up products. They gave him a big smile and said, don't work too hard, sir. The man smiled back and said, thank you, children. Your smiles made me forget how tired I am. And they were very happy to hear him say that. One smile can do so many things. When they had finished shopping, they got in line together to pay for their things. And when Zainab and Tariq got to the front of the line, they smiled at the checkout lady. The girl smiled back and gave them some candy. The 2 kids thanked the checkout lady. They asked their parents' permission and then they ate the candy. That shows you how smiling can make the smiling person happy too. You 2 got candy. Both children counted all the smiles that they gave that day, and they even drew smiley faces onto their little cards. That night, Zainab and Tariq put smiley faces in front of their minds. They decided to never finish the smiling grace. They would smile every day. Before getting in bed, they prayed to Allah. They asked him to make them good people like Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Who knows? Maybe Prophet Muhammad would visit them in their dreams, kiss them on their foreheads, and congratulate them for their smiles. They fell asleep smiling, thinking about Prophet Muhammad. I think smiling is a beautiful thing. What did you think of the story?
Oh, I love the story. I want to smile all the time now.
Yes, smiling is a beautiful thing. Not only do you become happy, but you make other people happy. Sometimes when I'm having a bad day, I try to force myself to smile. So that way, I'm not grumpy all day.
That's a smart way to stay happy.
Yes, I agree. Smiling makes everyone happy. It spreads love to everyone, right? If you see someone happy and smiling, would you feel sad or would you forget your sadness?
I would forget my sadness.
Smiling brings joy, and that is why the Prophet Muhammad taught us to smile. It's like giving charity, yes. Smile in Arabic is ibtisama. Ibtisama begins with the Arabic letter Alif. Alif is the first letter of the Arabic alphabet. Do you know any words that begin with Alif? Arqam. Arqam are numbers. Al'ab are toys. Got lots of toys in here. Al'ab. Asad. Asad is lion. Arnab. Arnab means rabbit. Did you learn some of these words today?
Yes, I did.
So, I think it's time for us to do our good deed of the day today. And it could be part of our craft.
I got the perfect
Yeah,
rock.
that's a perfect rock, Basma. Yes, let's paint it together. And then we could leave it out. And then when somebody sees it, maybe they'll remember to smile.
Awesome.
Very good idea. Let's go. Since today's good deed of the week was to color a rock and put it in someone's path so that they can smile, that's what I'm going to be doing. All you need is a rock. You could find one from your garden, backyard, anywhere, the park, and you can get any kind of paints that you have, and a brush, a toothpick, any kind of tools you can paint with. Make sure you ask your parent so that you can do this on a surface that they allow. And go ahead and paint the rock any way that you'd like. Here I'm painting it a solid dark color, and then I'm going to add some designs to it. I thought it would be nice to draw a picture of the sun because sunshine equals happiness in a lot of cases. It brings happiness when it's sunny outside. And then with a toothpick, because that's the smallest thing I could find, I'm going to write out the word smile. So whoever sees this rock will remember to smile. And then I decided to draw a little happy face on the sun. And then go ahead and decorate the sun with a little bit of orange. And you can do any decorations, any design that you'd like that you see would make the person smile. And here is my final design on the rock. You just set it aside to dry, and then I'm going to paint another one with a different design. This time I'm going to cover the entire rock in white so that I have a light colored background to start with, so that all the colors can show as brightly as possible. And if you're going to do this, it's better to wait for each layer to dry a little bit before you start with the next. And then I decided to make different colored stripes on the rock, so it kind of just is very colorful and bright. And now again, I'm going to just write the word smile. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed the craft, and I hope you're able to make your own. That was it for today, friends. Until next week, inshallah, both Basma and I are going to wave goodbye. Assalamu alaikum.